Hello, everyone. This is Strategy Gaming Dojo, where we find, learn, and play one more turn of the great strategy games. And today we're going to start our challenge series for Field of Glory 2 Medieval. Now, this just came out not even a week ago yet, and I issued a challenge and I said, come at me, bring what you got. And one of the first people to respond was fcobelo. And fcobelo, we suspect he's treasonous, he's traitorous, he's villainous, he could even be dastardly for all I know. But he has challenged us to a game of Field of Glory 2 Medieval, and we are doing the historical battle of Hastings. And what is the historical battle of Hastings? Where it's a battle of the Anglo-Saxon English, which is us, and the Normans, which are these guys, F. Cabello's troops over here. They are led by William the Bastard, who wins this battle historically and becomes William the Conqueror and the King of England. We are led by Harold Godwinson, who at this moment is at this moment he's been crowned the King of England. He was the Earl of Wessex. So if you didn't have to study your English history in grammar school, I'll just back up for a second. In January of 1066, Edward the Confessor, who was the Anglo-Saxon king, died. When he died, according to whom you asked, he had promised two to three different men the throne of England when he died, and that led to all kinds of problems. The first problem is that the King of Norway, Harald Hardrada, said that he had been promised the throne, and so he came and invaded northern England. And Harold Godwinson, who at that time was the Earl of Wessex, marched north and defeated Harold Hardrada, the King of Norway, and sent them scurrying back to Norway. There was a Witan where he was named the king, but at that time, William the Bastard, the Norman Duke, said, hey, wait a minute, I was promised the throne of England. He crossed over the English Channel and laid claim to it. Harold Godwinson, and at this point, King Harold, upon hearing that news, marched south and said, let's get it on. And when these two armies met, they met here near Hastings, and you see the Battle of Hastings to Hastings. This road goes to Hastings. Um, the English, what we'll call the English of this time, they're no longer, well, I guess they, through interbreeding, they're still kind of the English, right? They arrayed here at Sinlac Hill. The Normans there was this kind of marshy area out here, and they had to come and attack and come to the English. Now, looking at this battle, and we'll go all around the battlefield and kind of look at the different kinds of troops we have, the kinds of troops they have, and look at the force composition. But the number one thing you see here is we have a tremendous advantage when it comes to terrain. We are on top of Sinlac Hill. We have a 300 elevation here. It goes down to 225 and then to 200. So this is very steep. That's a 75 increase in elevation as you go from this square to this square. Same here. No, actually not. Okay, so there's more of an elevation incline here. Here is 50, so it goes 250 to 300. If we get down here, you can really see there's a kind of an introductory hill here where we go from 100, 150 to 200 up to our troops perched here. Over here is the same. And is it more steep here? Yep, this goes from 125 to 200, this 150. So this kind of corner here, and this one as well, are a little bit more depressed right there. And so we have a very nice terrain advantage. Also, another thing you can see is there is forest to the left, and there is forest marsh just nasty terrain over here to the right. This is a very constricted battlefield. There was not going to be a lot of maneuver. These two armies are going to clash, and they're pretty much going to clash right here in straight lines because given the sizes of the two armies, they barely fit on the battlefield. You know, we no reason for us to get over here in the forest and no reason for them to as well, because if you look at the force compositions, we actually are at a severe disadvantage when it comes to that. Now, luckily, we do have the elevation advantage and we have the advantage of a constricted battlefield, because if you look back here, the Normans have a lot of cavalry strength, but that is really lessened when they cannot maneuver. If you look at our army, we have no cavalry. And so when I first looked at this battlefield, I didn't know the I mean, I know the basic idea of the Battle of Hastings, but I didn't know the exact force compositions. I kept looking for cavalry here. I was like, well, surely they're around here somewhere. There actually is no cavalry about. We have all foot soldiers. Meanwhile, the Normans have a great deal of cavalry and actually quite good cavalry. So, this wouldn't even be a contest if we did not have the elevation advantage and we did not have forest constricting the battlefield on both sides. So, what kind of troops are the Normans going to be bringing at us? Well, let's go see over here. Actually, let's start over here on their left flank to our right. We have Breton armored spearmen. Okay, and if we control left click on that, we'll see that they are armored spearmen, undrilled heavy foot. They are unmaneuverable, so they will pretty much be driving straight ahead. They are defensive spearmen, okay, and their troop quality is above average. They are armored, and you'll notice that the squares here for infantry, the kind of max infantry, it's a smaller hex size. The max for foot infantry is 220, making the max for cavalry 110. They're steady, control stats, blah, blah, blah. Impact, defensive spearmen, plus 100 POA versus any troops if not charging, or versus other defensive spearmen at impact. Troop quality plus 29 versus any, that is because they are above average, they get a plus 29 POA. Once we start to melee and lock up and get going, they are plus 100 versus any troops, and their armor advantage gives them a plus 50 POA versus less well armored foot. Okay, unless the less well armored foot has heavy weapons, and so on and so forth. I'll let you read the rest of that if you want to. But the point is they have pretty good, they're above average troop quality. They are spearmen. They're pretty much good against anything. They're going to be a plus 100, whether it be on the impact or in the melee. Okay, and this is kind of their basic, having looked over this is their basic infantry group here, these armored spearmen. Now, they come from different regions, but they're all kind of the same. This is the general, and we see more of them. Let's actually pan down here and take a closer look. You can tell they have these kind of shields. These are the exact same spearmen. These are the exact same spearmen. These guys are different. And who are they? They are Norman dismounted knights. So these are kind of elite foot because they have dismounted, but they are knights. They are offensive spearmen. Okay. Dismounted knights and sergeants. They're undrilled, unmaneuvered. Okay. But they are superior troop quality. And so what they have done is they have just interlaced these dismounted superior troops within their kind of regular infantry. And we'll see that as we go down the line. These guys, as spearmen, have the exact same POA advantages, except because they are superior, they get a plus 55 instead of a plus 29 as the above average. So we have normal infantry, they're above average, but we'll call them, their normal foot at this point. These are their superior troops, and then two more normals. And if you go look at this line, They line up the same way essentially over here. Now, these are Norman spearmen, but they're exactly like the Breton spearmen. And then we have dismounted knights and sergeants. We have Norman spearmen, Norman spearmen. So they set up exactly the same way, except we now have a second group of dismounted knights and sergeants. So two elite units interspersed here with the regular infantry, and then again another Norman spearman. Okay, so that's their infantry, what they're coming out at us with. Now, note that they are stronger here in the middle than they are on their left flank to our right. They have a smaller force here, more in the center. Let's go to their right flank to our left. They have again, now they're called Flemish spearmen. They're from the land of the phlegm. Uh, they are exactly like the Norman spearmen and the Breton spearmen. Okay. Then they have an elite. No, I'm sorry. Then they have more Flemish spearmen here. Okay. So one, two. And then they have their elite Norman dismounted knights and sergeants, and then more French armored spearmen in this case. Again, exactly the same as these spearmen, except that these guys are armored. It says they're armored. Um, does that give them any more advantage? No, it does not. They just have a little slightly different name. Okay, and so we see they have even disposition here on their right flank to their left flank, and then they have just a couple of more units here in the center. Now, what are their skirmishers like? Let's see what they've got here. They've got some light archers, light, light crossbowmen, okay, light archers, light archers, light archers. Okay, so they essentially have what? 6 units of light archers and one light crossbowman. That's not a lot. That's not a ton of skirmishers. Uh, we will need to try to disperse them as quickly as possible, but that's not really a threat. If you read the history of this battle, it says, well, let's just pull this down. Battle of Hastings. The English have formed a shield wall on Sinlac Hill. That's us. Uh, their flanks are secured by difficult terrain on either side of the hill. The Normans are deployed in 3 lines, archers in the front, we saw that, then infantry, and finally cavalry. For reasons that historians do not fully understand, the Norman archery was ineffective until the later stages of the battle. And I can tell you that myth, legend, or someone started saying the story at some point that Harold Godwinson was actually killed by a Norman archer with an arrow through the eye. Now, whether that's true or not, who knows? Now, let's get to the real core of this Norman army, which is really their very, very good cavalry. They have knights and sergeants out here. They could dismount as spearmen, and we've seen that. Those are these elite infantry units that they have. These knights and sergeants are also of superior quality. Their capabilities are as knightly lancers and swordsmen. They're unmaneuverable really, so they don't get the free turns. You see here the current strength, they are under 110. That's what I was saying. These guys are all around 220. All of the cavalry's around 110, so we're playing on slightly smaller squares with the frontage. Shooting none, okay, blah blah blah. Impact, Knightly Lancers in open terrain only. Now that's important to remember. Plus 100 POA versus mounted plus 200 against foot. Unless these are steady, non-charging pike, offensive spearmen, or defensive spearmen, in which case they are plus 150 against those things. Well, that's good to know because I can already tell you we have a lot of spearmen. Warfare during this time, from everything I can tell from this game so far, is all about cavalry and spearmen. That's that's what a lot of the armies are made up as, at least in Europe. One sec. All right. So, um, and you can see extra negative modifiers. I mean, these are just really good cavalry. Again, luckily we have a constricted battlefield and we have a terrain advantage. But troop quality, they're plus 30 POA because they are superior cavalry. Okay? So they have these Breton, just kind of forget the names in front of it. The Breton doesn't really matter. Just like up here, Breton Spearman didn't really matter. It's just giving you a little historical flavor, but these operate the same way no matter what the name is in front of them. So knights and sergeants, knights and sergeants. We have a sub-general here, Alan Fergant. He's also got some knights and sergeants and more knights and sergeants. I mean, that's that alone would be pretty decent cavalry. But there's more. We have Norman knights and sergeants, and so on and so forth, until we get to Duke William of Normandy, the commander in chief. He also has some knights and sergeants with him. But yeah, this is a lot of cavalry. Uh, Strangely enough, his subgeneral is right next to him, Tursten Fitzrolf. Okay, and then more knights and sergeants. They're the Norman kind. Then we get over to the French, and we have Eustace of Boulogne over here, and he's got his Bolognese knights and sergeants. And then we have Flemish and French. So this is a real United Nations of the Norman and French over here. Okay, so I mean, we see the basic idea. They've got their skirmishers up front, infantry behind. They have a few superior units interspersed in with some guys that are actually above average. So it's not even like they have poor quality troops. And then they have a lot of the same knights and sergeants cavalry, which is all of superior quality. Well, shoot, that's not ideal for us. Just looking this over again, what we have is the terrain. We have that, and a battlefield where hopefully their cavalry can't get loose on us, because otherwise they really have every advantage. Now, what the heck do we have? Well, we don't have any horse, so we don't have to worry about that. But we do have some light javelin here, and I can tell you, F. 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 Cabello, the traitorous, the dastardly uh, villain that we're fighting, has has done his first turn. The Normans go first, and they have moved their light foot forward, their archers here. And in future turns, I'll always show us this, but this had already moved, and there was really nothing much that happened. They just moved their light infantry up. Their skirmishers, and then we'll respond in kind by moving our skirmishers up, including our light javelin men here. All right. But we'll do that in a moment. We need to go around and think about what we've got and what we're going to do with it. We have got javelinmen. Okay, they only have a range of one, so they're going to have to get up here. We'll probably put them on this slope right here because we're going to try to use the terrain to our advantage, and we'll have our spearmen that we'll be looking at here in a minute right at the edge of this, so that we have to get charged straight up the hill. That's really the only chance we've got. So we have javelin men. Uh, we also have some light archers. Again, we'll probably put them right on the slope in front of our infantry here and try to, disrupt what we can to the extent we can. We also have some more light javelin men here in the center. We have some slingers. We have more light javelin men. The javelin guys, it stinks because they've only got a range of one. So they essentially get off one shot and then they get scurried off. There's not a whole lot you could do about that. It is what it is. They have the range that they do. Slingers have a range of two, so that helps. We have some more light archers over here. Now, of course, light archers have a short range of two where they deal 100% of their damage, and a long range of four where they only deal 50% of their damage. So keep that in mind. But all of our light foot, all of our skirmishers, we're going to be putting on these ridges here, and we have more javelin men here. Okay, so essentially we have like 6 units of skirmishers. They have 6 or 7. It's really not a big part of the battle. We'll go up there and throw some javelins. That could be fun. Then what do we have? Well, we have two main types of foot. Well, we actually have three, but we've only got one unit of the third type. So we have two main types. And it just breaks down as thus. We have poor quality Ferdman and we have good quality Ferdman. And that's it. If we go along this whole stretch, you can tell the difference. Here are the poor quality. They do not have, you know, the armor, the chain. It looks like chainmail, doesn't it? Let's whip around here and look at our guys. Yeah, it looks like they've got chainmail on. And so we do have these good quality, they say, furdmen that are here. We got an awesome flag, by the way. Harold Godwinson. What is that? Like a fox that's sort of a dragon's body? I don't know. I like it. It's awesome. So we have these good quality guys, and then we got the crappy quality guys. So what are we going to do with that? Well, we see what the Norman army has done, and that is they've kind of interspersed their good troops with their superior troops with their above average troops. Now, unfortunately, the Normans don't have to deal with having poor quality troops, which is a whole different ball of wax, right? Well, I think the best way to set this up, and I've thought about it for a little bit, I think the best way to set this up really is to put our poor quality in front and go with the idea that we're going to try to make the Normans, I say make, how are we going to make them? Well, the Normans are really the attacker here. They have the superior army. We have the terrain. They have the superior army. Can he just sit back here and not do anything? Well, sure. I guess we'll have to call off the game at some point because I'm not coming off this hill. And I think historically that's okay because ultimately, Harold Godwinson was the King of England at this point. He was defending, Duke William. We'll just call him Duke William. He had come across the English Channel to lay claim to the throne that had already been given to someone else. He's got to be on the attack. Harold Godwinson can sit back here and eat lunch. He can hang out, whatever. He's got the crown on his head. And so, really, I think historically the Normans should be attacking. I don't feel bad or ahistorical or otherwise sitting here on top of the hill and saying, well, you come to me. I'm the king. Ha! All right. Anyway, so I think the best way to do this is make them come up the hill. I say the best way. I think it's the only chance we have. And I think put the poor quality troops in the front to the extent we can. Now we have more good quality than we have poor quality. And so we can intersperse some good ones in the front line. And also I think we'll keep good quality right here to the center. We can't really lose the center or we're going to get just chewed up. Um, but I think on the flanks, what I want to do is put the poor quality interspersed in here and kind of just tire his troops out a little bit. They're going to have to come straight up a hill and attack, and that kind of evens things out a little bit when he has to attack our poor quality troops up a hill. But they're probably going to break at some point, and when they do, though, we'll have good quality troops directly behind them to fill those gaps. I think it's all we can do, quite honestly. And so let's just go look at our good quality really quickly to see what we've got. They're armored spearmen. They are offensive. They're undrilled heavy foot, unmaneuverable, above average quality. They are armored. That's that chainmail. It appears to be chainmail. If we look down here, they're plus 100 POA versus any troops. Now this is exactly the same statistics as his spearmen that are just above average. So we're not even talking about their superior quality knights and sergeants. Okay. The best I can say for this is, yeah, he's got a lot of horse, but at least we have a lot of spearmen, which is exactly what you want to have on the ground against, horse. Ideally, what you want against horse is other horse, but unfortunately, we do not have that. So what are we going to do here? Well, the first thing we're going to do is start moving our skirmishers up. Now, why they started back here historically, I don't know, but uh, we got to get them up here. Now that's the move through. If you haven't played the game before or you're still learning, you've just kind of watched my tutorials. That symbol is because Lightfoot skirmishers can move through your other troops. They're the only troops that can do that. Otherwise, you've got to have clear hexes to get medium or heavy foot through, or cavalry. So only your light foot can move through other troops. So let's go ahead. We got to get these guys up here. That's just an obvious move. Okay. Now, generally, I like to mass my skirmishers, because really what you want to do is hit the same unit over and over to do any real kind of damage. We really don't have that option here. We just don't have enough of them. Um, Now, as you see, we could move through here. Um, this is just, these are all separated. I really want to, okay, so eventually I want to move this guy down onto the slope. We'll go ahead and move these guys down on the slope, our archers, and we'll let fire at them. This isn't going to do much, obviously. Okay, we'll come back. We're going to do all the skirmishers first. We're going to move our javelin out here. We're going to get them on the slope. And as others come to us, now the problem is their archers have a better range than our javelin men, and so we're gonna have to chase a little bit. We'll move through there, and we'll let loose. We'll go ahead and turn. These are our slingers, so they have a range of 2. We have more javelin men. They can get within 1 here, and so we're going to go ahead and do that. And wow, they had to take a cohesion test. Okay, cool, because we hit them twice in a row. So that works. Now let's come down here. Let's hit those guys again. Let's see if they pass another cohesion test. They did. Held firm. All right. While we're back here, let's get our general moving up 1 to survey the battlefield a little better. Then our other javelin men over here, like I said, these guys are just, I guess they were kind of protecting the flanks in case they thought maybe the Normans might have somebody out here on the flank. I don't know. So let's move them up. Okay, so that is all of our light foot. That is all of our skirmishers. Next turn, let's kind of go up a little bit here and go look at the battlefield. Next turn, we'll get these guys out here on the slope. Um, and we'll just keep battering away at some of these things. Let's look at our tools. One thing I haven't looked for is if they have the I'm sure they do, the direct overhead view. Huh, interesting. I'm not seeing it. Maybe they thought not enough people used it. Really. um, Okay, let's see if we have any more left unshot. I just want to make sure I'm not missing a skirmisher unit. We do not. All right. Actually, I'm going to leave that up. I always like that. Okay. This is probably why they don't have the direct overhead anymore, is because you can really do it with the camera controls. So all I'm doing is, hitting on the right button and pulling it where I want it to be. All right, so we've got our skirmishers right out front. Skirmishers, skirmishers. Uh, we actually are a little stronger over here on our right flank to his left than we are over here. I wouldn't mind getting another unit over to this side. This side just looks a lot weaker to me. That being said, we do have some units back here. They're all the poor quality though. All right, let's flip this around and let's go. I like to go from left to right. I like to do skirmishers first and then go left to right. Now, the first thing I'm going to do, you might say, what in the world are you doing? Is I'm actually going to back these guys up. And they're going to have to take a cohesion test, but I'd rather them do it right now. Fall back. Yeah, we didn't have a problem there. Now I'm going to take these poor quality guys and move them here. Okay, great. So that was their only move. Now, as we move these guys down here, we're going to take the poor quality guys and put them right here. All right. We are also going to move back. So I want to intersperse here. As I said, we're going to now move these guys forward. So we'll have a good unit there. All right. And then let's move these guys here. and then we're going to turn them this direction because we're going to put them right here. So we'll have poor, good, poor, and then we'll have a good right behind here. All right, that's fine. And we have another good here. Okay, okay, okay. This is good. We'll put the other good backing up this. I don't want them to be able to get up here and turn the corner on, get behind us here. So we'll have poor, good, good. Then we'll put what? Poor here. That's a little too much over on this side. I feel like maybe we should like get them over this direction, like over here, because we're gonna back these guys up. All right, let's back them up. These are poor quality. Let's put them there. Okay, we have no more movement points for anybody there. So we're gonna have, poor good, poor good, poor good, and just keep doing that. This is our general here, our sub-general, I should say. He's the sheriff of Middlesex, okay, Essiger. Great. Then back here, so we're doing a real kind of almost like Roman checkerboard pattern. You can tell I've played a lot of Roman games before. The only thing I don't like about this, I'll be honest with you, is I don't like this square right here. I don't like that. Now, this is going to be our zone of control, so it's not like they can get past us, but they can actually attack us from the flank here. We're eventually going to have to turn these guys anyway. Let's just do that. But I would like to have a unit right here. Could I get it from over here, maybe? I think I can. I think I can. Um, let's do this as fast as we can. Let's turn them. Okay, they're going to start moving this way. Meanwhile, we're gonna, I don't want to have a poor quality unit there. So why don't we instead turn these guys as well? They're gonna go here. These guys are probably gonna go right there. Then a good unit, and then a poor unit, good unit, poor unit. Okay, well, how are we gonna accomplish all of this? Let's see. Okay, let's back these guys up. Let's back these guys up. Okay, let's put these guys there. Okay, this works so far. We've got, okay, we got our general here. Okay, I think this works. And we'll just, I can't do it, I'm out of movement points, but I'll put these guys here. I'm going to put one of these guys here, and we'll just have them kind of as a reserve. That's fine. Now, we don't have a lot going on in the middle, but I'll tell you, I'm not sure that's going to be the biggest deal. If anything, we could maybe shift some guys to the left because if you look at it, we kind of have them outnumbered from foot right at first. Then they're going to be coming with the horse. But question if he keeps moving his foot forward, if the horse can even get to us. You know what I mean? That's what I was talking about, a constricted battlefield. Um, honestly, I could maybe shift both of these, one to here and this guy to like here. And that way I'm taking out some of these kind of diagonal sorts of moves or areas that they can go. All right, let's look through our unmoved troops. What do we have here? They're a 10 of 10, but that's fine. These guys, this is who we're on. But we don't want them to move because we're going to move these guys right in here. That'll be perfect. I actually like how the left side, our left flank is stacking up here. The right, not as much. Um, we got our poor quality guys. All they did is back up. Right. Okay. I guess we're gonna put them, what, here? We've got a lot of troops over here. We may even like shift them over too. What are they? They've got 0 of 10. They backed up. Right. Okay. We may shift everybody over one. That way I can use both of these, one here and one here as kind of, backups to the center and also facing out diagonal here. That may be the way to go. But as it is, it's not like I can, do that right now. So we're good. Oh yes, yes, yes. These are the Huskarls. This is the third type of unit we have, and these, I think we've got only one or two of them. It's the two sub generals have them. They are highly superior. Okay, they're plus 100 versus any uh, at impact. All right. Um, unless the infantry are charging mounted shock troops. Okay, that sounds like something out of Star Wars. Troop quality plus 75 POA. I mean, that's just excellent. Plus we have a general here, so it's plus 125. These are the guys we want to use against their best troops, okay? And I think our other sub general has the other Huskarls, and he does. These are like, badass axemen. And so we got to keep that. I like him holding the center of the line here. Interesting. It might be nice to have him over here, kind of in the center. But maybe we actually might put him right in here or here. I don't know. We'll figure that out as time goes on. We've kind of done all we can this turn. And I think that's going to do it. So when we come back next time, we will see what the enemy has in store. We'll watch them play their turn, a replay of it, and then we will continue with implementing our battle plan. So until next time, this has been Strategy Gaming Dojo. Thank you so much for stopping by. This is a very good game. It's a lot of fun, 4D chess. So check it out if you haven't already, or send me a game. I'm happy to play anyone that sends me a challenge. All right, guys. Thank you so much. I'll talk to you next time. Goodbye.